Hello, welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. My nose is still giving me trouble, but it's cleared up a lot. Anyway, we have Old Overholt Straight Rye Whiskey from Abraham Overholt. He doesn't get out too much these days, but he dated this rye in 1810 in Pennsylvania. Old Overholt Straight Rye Whiskey. This is the 80 proof version. Aged 3 years. Chill filtered. Bottled by the A. Overholt and Company. Abraham Overholt and Company. Frankfort and Claremont, Kentucky. Anytime you see that, you know that's the Beam Suntory Company. Michael Hill says, thank you for these videos. My vote is for Old Overholt. Okay, you're welcome. Nice brown bottle. You tell us that Jim Beam design. Got the kind of broad shoulders. It has a little thing at the bottom. Lip at the bottom. Not as big as the Sazerac lip. There's the Keystone from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. William, Pennsylvania. There's a website link here, but you don't even need to waste your time typing it because it ain't coming up. TheOldsWhiskies.com. Wasn't much of a website to start with. All they had was like little cutesy remarks about Old Crow, Old Overholt, and Old Granddad. Now, to me, seems to me, if you had three legendary brands like Old Overholt, Old Granddad, and Old Crow, you'd be trying to promote it, have website information, history of the brands, Old Crow Reserve. They ought to bring back Old Crow Bottled and Bond, which I did drink. Thank you, Bobby Futch, for that. 1977 bottle, 100 proof Old Crow, aged 1969 to 1977. That was nice. And then I bought my own bottle of Old Crow at one of these local stores. But they don't promote it. As a matter of fact, you won't even see it on their website. Look up Beam Suntory. You won't see Old Crow. You won't see Old Overholt, and you won't see Old Granddad. That's sad, huh? It's their company. They can do what they want. Doesn't matter to me. I love learning the history of these products. Sad when the websites don't have much info. Yeah, in this case, they have no info. All right. That's it. Nothing on the back. Fine. I paid, well, this one was a little expensive. I had to pay $17.99 at Dorgnac's. It was $15.95 at Walmart, but when I went back looking for it, they didn't have any more of the black cap. It was all replaced by the red cap, which is now a different recipe. 86 proof, non-chill filtered. I guess they filtered through charcoal, and but still aged 3 years. Now the competitor, Sazerac Rye, straight rye. Don't ask why, say Sazerac Rye. With that super long neck, which makes it almost impossible to put it in any liquor cabinet because it's too tall. It won't fit. It's like hitting everything. So I have to put on the very top shelf of this rack that I have. It's a painted label. The painted label makes the spinning wheel go round. It's not some adhesive thing, you know, that makes it look like a painted label like you see these days. But no, it's actually a painted label on the front and the back. This rye whiskey is the perfect choice to make the Sazerac cocktail, America's first cocktail trademarked, they claim. Trademark, well, it is trademarked. To learn more about this classic American whiskey, check the link below. I'll put the link. Or you can call 1-866-729-37 too. And they're still open. If you want to call them right now and check me on that, you can call Sazerac. And they'll tell you where to find it close to you. Email Sazerac. Email them at sazerac.rye@sazerac.com. 45% alcohol, 90 proof. So we got 80 proof, but then 90 proofs coming in strong. Distilled, aged, and bottled for the Sazerac Company, Incorporated, New Orleans, Louisiana, by Buffalo Trace Distillery of Frankfort, Kentucky. So Buffalo Trace in Frankfort, Kentucky is distilling, aging, and bottling this for Sazerac. You say, well, that's nice of them. Why would they want to do that for Sazerac down in New Orleans? Anybody know the answer? Anybody know the answer to that trivia question? B Aviation. What is up, Ron? Oh, not the stock market today. It's got a real cork. So I'm going to moisturize it, because if you don't keep them moisturized, they will dry rot, as I found to my great dismay, opening the 1983 bottle of the 8-year aged, never before opened Wild Turkey 101. That was a mess. Luckily, I was able to save it, but it was bad. But I didn't know. Had I known, I would have avoided the problem. Okay, let's hold on a second. All right, we'll see. This will help my cold. Well, the cold's gone. Like, it's only the residual left. You know, like I was sick Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Boy, I felt so bad. Thursday, I was taking a nap, laying there like I could hear myself. I was like, it's a movie. It's like these movies, you know, where they're having a nightmare or something. Old Overholt. 00007. Old Overholt. 00. What is a rye whiskey, you may ask? Oh, the price. Okay, so $15.95 at Walmart. If you go to Walmart, here it's $15.95. Sazerac Rye. I heard people doing videos talking about they had to pay $50. $50. They said, boy, if I could find it for $35, I'd be so glad. Well, they got it down here for, guess what? $17.99. I'm not lying. $17.99, and that is the truth, my friends, my acquaintances. I guess we're not friends, but we don't know each other. But anyway, it's a wooden cap. It's not plastic. It's a wooden cap. Rinse my hands, and then we're going to start this taste challenge. I knew somebody was going to call me. Hold on a second. It's my friend David Garlipe, so I got to call him back. So I'm not going to go too long. Eating some New Orleans pasta from a local restaurant. Oh, yeah? That sounds good. I would assume it's good. I don't know what New Orleans pasta is, actually. All right. Now, with this taste check, oh, rye. What is rye? Well, straight rye, which these two are straight rye. Anybody guess that trivia question yet? Why does Buffalo Trace make Sazerac Rye for the Sazerac Company of New Orleans? Why are they so nice to do that? Burley Sullivan says, you. Okay. Straight rye must be at least 51% rye. Well, any rye whiskey would have to be at least, it doesn't even have to be straight rye. I got a bottle over there in the other room that says just rye whiskey. It doesn't say straight. We'll get into that one day maybe. But has to be at least 51% rye. The other 49% could be any other grains. Doesn't matter. Could be corn. Could be wheat. Could be barley. Could be a combination of all that. Has to be aged at least 2 years in new charred oak barrels. You say, well, that's just like bourbon, except they're using rye instead of corn. You got it, man. Okay. Chill filtered, charcoal filtered, that doesn't matter. Could be made in any state. Now, Sazerac Rye has no age statement, so it's aged at least 4 years. I didn't put that in my notes. Let me put that, no age statement. So we know it's at least 4 years old because that's the law. That's the law. You don't have to put an age statement. Fine, don't put an age statement. But it has to be at least 4 years old if you don't put an age statement. Aged. I'm just going to put no age statement. No age statement. All right. Right. Now, you would think the 90 proof is going to show up. Oh, now you might be looking at the notes saying, Sazerac Rye has only been around since 1990. I mean, 2000, the year 2000, when everybody started flying in the spaceships instead of cars. Yeah, only 21 years. But there was another rye whiskey that Sazerac used to make called Old Superior, and I saw that the trademark expired. So they probably took Old Superior and replaced it with Sazerac Rye, obviously. Now, I want to find some old advertisements for Old Superior, and if they say 90 proof with no age statement, I'm going to think, uh-oh. Is there any liquor made with an oat mash? I don't know of any, but they probably do have them this day and age. Oh, a lot of vanilla here. Now you say, but vanilla is bourbon. Well, yeah, but the vanilla comes from the oak, not the corn. No, corn is not going to smell like vanilla, and rye is not going to smell like vanilla. Now, just think what you could do. You could make two whiskeys identical in every way, same specs, everything. But you could make one 59. You could make one 49% rye and 51% corn. That would be your bourbon. And the other one, you could make 51% rye and 49% corn, and that would be your rye. You just flip the numbers, and we only go on 51 to 49 in that case. It'd be the slightest little adjustment, a 2% adjustment on either one, and you would have one would be bourbon, straight bourbon, and the other one would be straight rye. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? New Orleans pasta is mustacciali with spicy creamy sauce and grilled chicken and Cajun sausage. Oh, I'd like that. Well, of course, now you know Cajun sausage. Now you know New Orleans is not a Cajun city. It's a Creole city. The Cajuns are outside of New Orleans, south and more southwestern New Orleans. They didn't stay in the city. They went out to the country because they were used to country living like they had back in Nova Scotia. So New Orleans be more Creole. A lot of people don't know that, but it's the truth. I just tried old Overholt. New Orleans math, I guess. Don't forget the voodoo. Yeah, the voodoo came from Haiti. Daniel Wells with the Cubs. Cubs are on. The Cubs are coming on in a few minutes. I got to hurry. All right. This one in my left hand smells stronger. This one in my right hand is a fainter aroma. So right off the bat, in the appearance, this one is darker. You can see this one is much deeper amber, and this one is more gold. So right off the bat, I think, and I didn't look at them too carefully when I poured them, so that cannot be a factor. I'm just thinking, I'm thinking that the Sazerac is probably darker because it's aged longer and it's stronger. So I assume it would be a lot more spicy if I got it in New Orleans. Yes, that assumption may be true. I don't think New Orleans food is particularly spicy. Well, in the French Quarter, it wouldn't really be. Maybe at some people's house, if you went to their house and ate. But in the river parishes here, you go up the river, it'll blow your mind, man. When I went to high school and elementary and then high school, every Monday they'd have red beans and rice or white beans and rice. And oh, it was hot. Those ladies, and everything was handmade. They never had prepackaged food here. It was all until, yeah, much later. So it was all handmade, and it was hot. And the spaghetti meatballs they'd have on Thursday were hot. I don't mean it was hot because it was in the pot. It was hot that way too with heat, but it was spicy hot. And you'd just be on fire, but you get used to it. So after a while, you can't go back. You can't go back to regular food. And we had so many kids from up north moving down here when their parents worked at Shell or DuPont or other chemical plants, Exxon Mobil and whatnot. And so they would always be shocked. Like at the beginning of high school, they'd be a freshman. Oh, you're new to this parish? Yeah, we moved here from Minnesota. My dad works at Marathon Oil Company. We'd say, oh, okay. Oh, they'd say, oh, this food is so hot, I can't eat it. Of course, they'd be hungry, so they'd eat it. And they'd be saying, I don't think I can get used to this stuff, boy. But by the end of the year, it's over. They can never go back. Taste time. Took a too big of a gulp. Woo, mama, mama. I think that's the Sazerac. Boing. I thought they made jambalaya, or is it called gumbo? They use a lot of cayenne pepper, yeah. Not to mention black pepper. I thought they made. Well, jambalaya is a rice dish. Gumbo is like a soup or a stew, like a quasi soup stew hybrid, and they pour it over rice. What spice do they use in the spaghetti meatballs, for example? Well, I don't know. A lot of hot pepper, a lot of red pepper and black pepper, it seems. It would all be handmade at high school. Those ladies would be making their own, be making the spaghetti sauce. And, of course, the spaghetti, make their own bread. Always made their own bread. Cornbread sometimes, homemade cornbread. And they weren't stingy with the portions neither. And they had the homemade peanut butter cookies and everything. It was good. Maybe that's why I was 30 pounds overweight 20 years ago, eating all of that food. Well, it's very common in Louisiana to get overweight because all the food, But I got down to the right. I weighed myself this morning, 142.6. Might be a little bit underweight, but I'm satisfied. Better than going around with a big stomach sticking out and all of that and feeling unhealthy. I feel so much better now. You say, well, you're 53. You feel better now than when you were 33? Yes, because I was overweight and I was not exercising like I needed to and all of that. And I was drinking them stinking soft drinks and beer too, of course, then. But now it's all beer and no soft drinks. And, oh, I feel so much better. We had frozen pizza in high school. Yeah, well, they used to make their own pizza at my school. It was like, the kind of pizza you make at your house and it's never that good. But, I mean, they made it by hand, so People would eat it. What's your take on Jim Beam Double Barrel? Well, my take is that I've never had it, but I'd certainly try it. Okay, let's cut to the chase. This one is smooth now. I got to say that. This one is very smooth in the application. It's mild. It's mellow. It's smooth. You can pick up the rye, which is like a mentholated, almost like a peppermint thing. And then you can pick up the, I say it's corn, probably corn liquor. Like I said, it doesn't matter. If the corn liquor's aged in barrels for 2 years, well, then it's fine. It's not going to be a blended rye. It's a straight rye because then the other ingredients are aged also for that same amount of time. So now, do they blend it together, then they age it, or do they age them separately and then blend them? They don't tell you that, so you don't know. You don't know. Doesn't really matter, I guess. But some liquor companies claim it does, but I'm not too sure. Okay. Sazerac Rye. It's a sharper flavor, a more luxurious flavor, I have to admit, a more a flavorful flavor. And you can tell it's stronger. I mean, right off the bat, you could tell this is 10% stronger than that. You know, you can tell. Well, I mean, 5%. I'm sorry, 5%. You could tell this is 45% alcohol, and you could tell that's 40. And in my case, we talking about $2 difference. So which one would I buy? I guess I buy Sazerac. It's $2. Costs $2 more, but you get a higher proof, age longer, and is it chill filtered or charcoal? They don't say. I don't know. You could call them and ask them on the phone. They'd probably tell you. And if they didn't know, they'd find out. Rye is just another grain, right? That's right. It's grown on a farm. I stopped drinking pop, and I haven't looked back. Good idea. What is your so it's the same stuff that make rye bread out of. That's right. Same stuff. I prefer the Dickel Rye or the Canadian Club Rye. I've never had Canadian Club Rye, but I'm planning to buy it. Dickel Rye, yeah, that's good. It's not straight rye, though. Go look at the bottle. It just say rye whiskey. Doesn't say straight rye. Think about that. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Last chance to answer the trivia question. I'll tell you the answer. The reason Buffalo Trace makes Sazerac Rye for Sazerac of New Orleans, and by the way, they also distill Sazerac in New Orleans. I was watching them make it. The guy was letting me smell the stuff in the tank and all, whatever. They produce it in Kentucky and in New Orleans. But in New Orleans, it's a small little distillery, so it's a tiny percentage of it at this time. Now, do they plan on adding distilling operations down here? I think they do. But they ship it all up to Kentucky to be aged and bottled. But why are they doing that for them? Because Sazerac owns Buffalo Trace. That's the trivia question answer. Buffalo Trace is owned by Sazerac. And they changed the name of it to Buffalo Trace until 1999. Before 1999, what was it called? Shenley Industries Distilling. Sazerac said, let's give it a nicer name. So they came up with this name, Buffalo Trace, and they came out with a new bourbon called Buffalo Trace and make it sound nicer instead of Shenley Industries Distilling. Buffalo Trace makes Old Gentleman. Kentucky Gentleman. Yeah, and there's a Virginia whiskey they make too. Well, they have a distillery in Virginia, actually. No kidding, says Wayne T. No kidding. B Aviation, can you do a challenge between straight bourbon and a rye whiskey? Would it be a competition? I don't like the cross line, so I wouldn't do that challenge. And I like to stay within the style. No, I don't cross line, and I'm not trying to make diamond. But I mean, you could do it. I'm not going to. They are two different flavors, really different, right? So it would really be it would be like saying I'm gonna do an IPA, I'm gonna do a Two Hearted Ale versus Miller Genuine Draft. I mean, you could do it, but when you say, well, that one's 6%, one's 4.6. Okay, well then do King Cobra. That's 6%. Still, it would be no kind of challenge because they don't taste anything alike, except they taste like beer. But it would be too, like I say, it would be too aberrant. So does Buffalo Trace win today? I mean, Sazerac from Buffalo Trace. Yes, it wins. Has a prettier bottle, but an irritating bottle because, like I said, the bottleneck is so tall you can't fit it on the shelf. But you can use it as a weapon. I mean, but it's nice. It's clear, so keep it out of the light. Carol Ann, don't go into the light. All right, but I do like the old Overhaul also. Is it a great product? You say, well, it's $15.99. $15.95 at Walmart. You know it's a budget product. You know that. I know that. The American people know that. But is it a good product? Sure is. Would I turn it down? I don't turn anything down. You know that. Well, some things, but people say you don't turn nothing down. You did a Wild Irish Rose wine review. You posted that this morning. Partner, you have got me there. Old Don is as useless as. All right. I do like the old Overhaul. I prefer the new 86 proof chill, non-chill filtered 3-year age. I mean, it's not way better, but it's a little bit better. But if you find an 80 proof with the black cap, I'll say heck, buy it. I don't think you're going to come out in a bad way. I mean, you're only paying $15.95 at Walmart. It's not like you're paying a lot of money. We live, says Dan Page. We live. Oh, we live, JV. We live. But I'm about to be off the air because I got to call my friend back. I've never had New Orleans pasta, but I ate it. Daisy Mays, says Andy Paschke. Well, I've never eaten a Daisy Mays. I'm drinking Jack Daniel's Old No. 7. It's all I got right now. The black label, Lincoln Clay. Well, that's a good one. Glad to hear you're feeling at peak condition, Jay. Well, I wouldn't say peak condition. You can tell my nose is still a little, but it's much better. Oh, yes. Want to keep watching your videos for many years to come. We don't know what the future holds, you see. I could be dead tomorrow morning and people say, oh, no more videos. It would be sad because I've got some already recorded. So I would say, oh, I'm dead. Who's going to post these videos? You say, oh, they'd be so upset. They'd be so upset. Your family, they wouldn't be thinking about that. They'd probably be thinking about looking at that bank account. But I still would want somebody to post the videos. But anyway, let's not talk about morbid things and all of that. We live. We're like, cheers, Ron. An awesome chat, says JV. Thank you. I like when you say things the haters would say. Haha. I'm not saying it's the haters that would say it. I mean, it could be in a way. It's just people might say, well, it's just like a point counterpoint where you might say blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking of a response. You know what I'm saying? I think Alex would post those videos. Yeah, I have to give him access to my computer, to all my files. Is that a good idea? Should I do that? Okay, Alex, let me know if you want access to all my personal information, and then we will work on that. All right, anyway, Old Overholt got it right on the first sniff. Well, it wasn't really close. It wasn't much of a competition, honestly. It was pretty cut and dry. So tomorrow morning at dawn, for Dawn Busters Taste Challenge, I have Dickel Rye. Dickel Rye versus Old Overholt. Yeah, Decorai is going to kill it. JB saying, crying. He's laughing so much he's crying like a crazy guy. Louisiana Beer Reviews, what's your opinion of critical race theory? Says Tommy. Oh, well, I don't call it that. You see, I call it communist race theory. Okay, don't die on us, says B Aviation. So no, I call it communist race theory. Okay. Don't you hear my whistle? I just blew it. Okay, thanks for watching this video. AMD Yakult. I prefer the old Overholt. Okay, well, I just did a blind taste test, and I preferred the Sazerac Rye, and it was no bias involved. So, take care. You enjoy it. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. I'm off to call my friend David. All right. Thanks for watching this video production. And there's your winner. There is your winner. When did Sazerac become distilled rather than a drink? Sazerac?